Race number 5 in the ARCS Xtreme Asphalt Series. This little fun series of ours coming to Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway. Ryan Pittman and Brennan Forseal side by side. Coming out of turn number 4, green flag will fly in the air to start the 5th race in this season, and the Canadian Forseal takes off. We're racing at Kern. Ryan Pittman coming away with the lead in that Johnny Benson liveried 08 Valvoline Pontiac. Forseal in that 2nd position. Patrick Oberstadt sitting in the 3rd spot. Dustin Painter in 4th. Kevin Feemster in that 5th position. 4 laps underway. No incident thus far. Pittman goes purple 1781. 1766. Actually, this time around, Forseal faces tough competition. Check out Oberstadt in the 41. The Hunt Brothers machine gets to the inside. He opens up the door and tries to take Dustin Painter with him. Side by side now for that 2nd position. Oberstadt to the inside of Forseal. The Canadian trying to hold on to the top 2 spots, but the North Carolinian in 4th wants to take him out of the top 3. Smoke in the air. We saw Tommy Withers had a problem. Let's see what happened to the Virginian on lap 1. Probably one of the best looking cars I've seen with these late models. That awesome Valvoline paint scheme goes for a spill out of turn number 4. And Kevin Feemster had a problem. Mama Vol's in the house. What's going on, Mama Vols? Shout out to the family. Shout out to Terry. And Feemster goes around. This is last week's winner at Bristol, Kevin Feemster. That went for a big spin. Check him out again. He just loses control. That's the 2nd car to go by himself. And then it was North Carolinian Jimmy Kerr the 3rd. Anthony Cordray just crashed as well. We'll go to him momentarily. 7.5 goes for a big spin. Cordray now. This is the 14C. And he's going to go by himself. A lot of guys just spinning out of nowhere. Well, and Cordray looks like he backed up right into traffic. Have another look. There's Cordray in the 14C. Does he back up into oncoming traffic? Man, that was close. He stays out of everybody's way. We keep it moving. Clean. Ryan Pittman in the Valvoline machine. He leads all 11 laps so far. Patrick Oberstadt in that 2nd position trying to hunt him down. On board with the 4-1. .32 of Austin Purnell now climbs up into that 2nd position. Purnell winning a few weeks ago. I think it was at New Smyrna. That's when we had the cameras messing up and everything. That really... Remember those turbulent 2 weeks where the 2nd season patch came out? It was kind of touch and go. For a few of us, for the majority, it worked. A lot of people didn't have any problems at all. But thankfully, the people at iRacing were very quick to respond to my emails and very, very thorough in their instructions. So they helped out a great deal. And using the forums, we learned some workarounds, and we momentarily got it to work. We kept the show rolling, thankfully. But luckily, iRacing got us back moving where we need to be here. So we're good to go. We got some pretty sweet camera angles now, and the racing's looking good. Purnell, your new leader in car 32. He now sits ahead of Ryan Pittman in that 0.8, and he made it look easy. Have another look at the pass for the lead. This is lap 15. Purnell still leading and now opening a gap, 0.3 of a second between him and Ryan Pittman. Dustin Painter moves into the bronze medal position, and the North Carolinian now takes over the Saskatchewan. How do you say that? Brendan Forseal in the, well, it is, well, what do you call people from that province? Anyway, Brendan Forseal's up in that 4th position. He sits ahead of Patrick Oberstadt in that 41, who was up to the 2nd position. Oberstadt now on the back end of the top 5. And then from nearby Orange County, California, Ryan Purnell, about 2 hours down the road, coming from nearby Los Angeles to bring his number 12. Richmond, Menard's Ford super late model up into the 6th position. You saw Tommy Withers. He crashed on that first lap. He now puts in his fastest lap tonight, 17:97 for car number 6. Painter in the 6.5, hunting down Purnell, though. 6.5 now sits ahead of that 8.2 Brendan Forseal, a 1/4 of a second behind, but the race for the lead isn't going anywhere, at least not in Austin Purnell's direction. 0.3 the gap remains, and you can see drivers now starting to drift into the middle part of that racetrack. Watch them again through turns 3 and 4. They're going to kind of slide up the track, and you see Purnell using that middle lane, Pittman using that bottom lane, trying to get any sort of run on Purnell. Let's go on board with the 0.8. Austin Purnell, 0.3 the gap between him and Pittman. The 0.8 not letting go of that race for the lead. And then further behind, Brendan Forseal's not giving up either. That number 8.2 now comes up just behind Dustin Painter, while Patrick Oberstadt fills the gap. And then half a lap behind, Ryan Purnell holds on to a 3-second gap for 6th. The man from Indiana, Kevin Feemster, last week's winner. Looks like he's picked up some damage as well, and he's just trying to survive at least here over the last 5 laps. Kevin Feemster, quicker than Tommy Withers for one of those laps, but not consistently. And they're only 3 seconds apart here, so about 28 laps is what we've got in so far. Feemster not done chasing down that top 5. Well, that last time he lost 0.4 to Tommy Withers. And they keep on spinning. Brendan Forseal just ahead of that 4.1. Dustin Painter now half a second ahead. And counting. The man from Winston-Salem, 1.3 seconds behind Pittman. There goes Cordray for a big spin on the outside of turn number 2, but he gets it spun back around. And he waits for Jimmy Kerr to get around him. He hits the gas just as Ryan Purnell comes up to him. And the Los Angeles pilot crashes up against the outside of turn number 2 with one wheel trying to defy gravity and sparks flying out the other end. The Menard's Ford wrecks into that second corner trying to avoid Anthony Cordray, and he goes for seconds outside of turn 4. Well, let's see what happened. Did he go by himself? He went by himself. Cordray's going to hit the gas thinking he's clear. He waits for Jimmy Kerr to go. Pennell doesn't know where he's going, and, well, that might have been a failure to communicate. We'll see. Let's go on board with Ryan Pennell. The way she goes. And that time it didn't go. Ryan Pennell, he's got one fast repair to use here. And drivers may come down pit road. They may just decide to keep track position. Austin Purnell sits at the front with Ryan Pittman behind him. Lights are still on atop the race car. If you just tuned in, you have not missed a thing. First caution, 31 laps into tonight's race. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more racing. Don't go anywhere. If you just tuned in. Ready to go racing once again. Green flag will fly. Purnell with control of the field. You gotta love the way those engines sing. Tommy Withers in the number 6, now trying to get up to Ryan Pennell in the 1-2. You saw he used a fast repair in the 1-2, and now we're seeing just how far he can get. One car went around at the back, and I think that was Steven Oberstadt in the Bojangles machine, and it definitely was. Oberstadt said he was having some connection issues, and there he is in the number 8. Looks like he finally came back after that caution. Just tried to be part of the show, and it looks like Anthony Cordray was part of his show coming into turn number 3. One more look. See if we can bring this up top. Keep your eye on the yellow car on the outside. I think the 8 was just, maybe he thought it was clear. I'm not sure. But Oberstadt goes around. Kevin Feemster and Ryan Pennell just put in quickest times. 1784, identical across the board. That time, Feemster 1783, and he's only getting quicker. Brendan Forseal on the back end of that top 5. Austin Purnell having a two-man fight between him and Ryan Pittman. Quickly approaching halfway. These are the points coming into this 5th round of competition. Dustin Painter leads the table, 162 points to Briley Wright's 154. Briley's not a part of tonight's roster. He's going to fall in that table. Tommy Withers, with 151 points, has a pretty strong lead over Ryan Pittman, who's running in 4th in the points, but Pittman's in 2nd right now in this race. Tommy Withers finds himself in 8th, but still plenty of race to go. More than halfway remaining. If you're interested in that Iowa LSU game, about 25 seconds remaining. Caitlin Clark absolutely lighting up the scoreboards. I was watching a bit of it before this game started tonight. Clark was absolutely doing her thing. It was for the few minutes that I watched it, I'm pretty sure she put in 3, possibly 4 3-pointers. Maybe I'm just imagining things now, but at least 3 3-pointers. She was unbelievable, and right now Iowa leads by 10 points with a few seconds remaining in this game, so it looks like Iowa's going to move on to the women's Final Four. And that's a 1 on a 3 seed. I mean, on paper you'd expect that, but it's a pretty great game. And this year, we're actually finding, well, I'm actually finding that, you know, before these games we're getting together and we're really interested in these women's basketball games. And there's some unbelievable athletes out there, not to mention Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Flo J. Johnson's out there as well. And then there's that one player for UConn who I can't think of right now, but it's pretty exciting. If you haven't yet seen the women's tournament, you've got to get in there. You've got to get some of that action. It's really, really good basketball. And then on the men's side as well, who's even playing on the men's side anymore? Do the number ones even exist? I think Purdue might be the only number 1 left on the men's side of the college game. If anybody knows, put it in the chat there. Bama Tram is in the house talking about Roll Tide. She loves her Alabama. Shout out the Tide. And shout out Mama Vols as well. I bet she was pretty hurt by that Nick Saban retiring news. But you know, we'll see what happens. Looks like caution's out here on lap number 50 for the halfway mark. So Austin Purnell leads at the break. Ryan Pittman's in the 2nd position. Dustin Painter sits in 3rd. See if we can have somewhat of a word with Purnell. He just got picked up by the pace car there. Austin Purnell, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, buddy. Leading the show so far. It's been an interesting battle with Ryan Pittman. And you've kind of dominated the show, so to speak. You know, it wasn't an immediate start, but look at you leading the most laps so far coming into the break. Are you finding Kern easy?
Yeah, I enjoy this track. I recently ran a 200-lap race here in the late models, flag to flag. They would win that one, but I haven't ran here in the supers. It's the track's a little slick, so it's a lot more throttle management with these. It looks like I'm gonna be 2nd now. Ryan hit me off the road, but we'll see if we can get back around him. But I think me and him's about equal once we get 10 laps on our tires.
That inside groove has now sort of become the middle groove now. You start to see guys drifting up the racetrack. You especially have just been kind of trying to get higher and higher along those hash marks and getting your speed up there. Is it quicker the higher you go on the racetrack, or do you have to wait for that rubber to set in?
You kind of have to wait for it to set in. If you go up there initially, you kind of slide out. Yeah, it's racy up there. The bottom's probably a little bit better, but there's a fine line up there. It's got a little bit more grip after about, 7, 8 laps, once the tires get a little bit heat in them.
We'll see what happens, buddy. Best of luck. Hopefully we talk to you at the end.
All right, thank you, man.
We're going to have, what, just inside of 40 laps to go? And for kicks, I was looking at the Final Four on the men's side here, and Mama Vols obviously shouting out her Tide. They're going to be going up against UConn Saturday. And shout out the SEC as well, because at the beginning of this tournament, I think we saw a lot of SEC teams going down, and we thought, what's going to happen with the SEC? I don't know if it was one of those opening days, I think. And we're thinking to ourselves, watching these games, I say we, a lot of the guys in this race, a lot of those guys that race in ARCS, we'll just be watching the games before a race, and we're thinking, damn, these SEC teams are going down quick. And I remember thinking, if Alabama goes down as well, what is that going to say for SEC basketball? And I was dead wrong, because they're here in the Final Four. And then UConn and Purdue, I asked earlier, are there even any 1 seeds left in this? And yeah, half the teams left in this are 1 seeds. So once again, I've proved I know nothing. But they're going up against an 11 seed. Did anybody have NC State going to the Final Four? And then, you know, you got that one stockier dude that plays for NC State. Like, I'm not watching a lot, so I don't know his name, but I see a lot of highlights about him, and he just looks unstoppable under the hoop. So it's going to be a fun tournament to watch. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun rest of the race to watch, too. 45 laps to go as the green flag comes out, and it's a slow roll to the line. Steven Oberstadt comes out in the lead. And there's an immediate crash. Oberstadt, Purnell, Painter gets pinched into the wall. Cautions out immediately. Clean and green until Steven Oberstadt gets control of the start, and then, no, I'm picking on him for no reason. Let's actually see what happened here. But this did start with the green flag. It was a slow roll to the line. Oberstadt with control of the field. Oh, and Brendan Forsythe definitely checked. He checked up, or he got turned there. And then it looks like Purnell's going to get a great run off the line. Oberstadt's going to move down to either get off the 0-8 or to try and block, but it did not go well. Have another look from up above. You see that Oberstadt's drifting up into the 0-8, and I think he's just trying to overcorrect, and it ends up putting him down into the 3-2. Let's go on board with the 8 car again. Have a listen. Well, you see the hands turn to the right, and you can see that by then he's overcorrected. Nothing the 3-2 of Austin Purnell could do. On board with Purnell. With Ryan Pittman. Oberstadt trying to stay off the 0-8. Purnell has an excellent run out of turn number 2. And they both have the idea to use that bottom lane. So the fastest guy in that first half of this race, Austin Purnell, definitely using a fast repair. He's going to be in the ninth position. He's not going to lose too much time. Brennan Forsythe in that 8-2 on the outside of Virginian Tommy Withers. He was actually at the Richmond race yesterday. Said he had a great time. Said he had an awesome time watching those Cup cars with the rain tires. If you saw that NASCAR Cup race and they were racing on the damp track with those tires, that was genuinely pretty cool. And, you know, you see NASCAR inching forward into the future here, into new things, and it's just really exciting to see, you know, the future in progress. Last week's winner, Kevin Feemster, he wants to see progress. The 41 of Patrick Oberstadt sees way too much progress up the rear end, and he gives it a little bit of a shake. Kevin Feemster, though, running away with this lead, and look at this. California's Ryan Purnell now in that second position. Brendan Forsythe in third. Tommy Withers now trying to defend that inside line. Pittman says, fine. I'll go around the outside, and Ryan Pittman clears Withers for fourth. Dustin Painter, Austin Purnell, Jimmy Kerr in the third spot from Dustin Painter. Austin Purnell just went purple. 17:43, the 32 behind the 65. Kevin Feemster with a big shake out of turn number 4, and it's Ryan Purnell to the left-hand side. 08, Ryan Pittman. 8-2, Brennan Forseal. There goes the 1, the 082, the 65, the 75, the 41, and Cordray just getting clipped at the end. Nowhere for Jimmy Kerr to go. And the third caution of this race on lap 66. Kern County claiming a few more race cars. Let's see what happened. Oh, the one of Kevin Feemster just gets loose. Nowhere for Pittman to go. And Feemster's been getting loose for a while. You saw the one have a shake earlier. Watch this. This is Ryan Purnell getting around Kevin Feemster. On the inside. Big shake by the one car there, and there it is. Have a look at that black one car on the outside. There's the shake. Nowhere for Pittman to go. Forseal checks up. Luckily, he escapes. Purnell's thinking, not again. He avoids that one. Steven Oberstadt gets into the 08, and then Anthony Cordray at the last minute gets clipped. So Ryan Purnell, Austin Purnell, a very distant cousin, sits in the third position. Ryan Purnell leads this race. Let's see if we can have a word with the Californian. Ryan Purnell, Rick James up top. You got me?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy? You're leading this race here. Looks like the lights are about to go out, and you've got Canadian Brennan Forseal on your outside. So you're leading at your home track with 31 laps to go this time by. You got a chance to podium?
Yeah, I think so. We got pretty good speed. We just a lot of fast people who are involved in that wreck, so we still got a pretty clean car. So we'll see what we can do.
You look good from the booth, man. Hopefully we talk to you at the end. Have fun.
Thanks, man.
The driver from Orange County will bring the field to the line on lap 69. Ryan Purnell, Brennan Forseal, 1-2. Green flag is out at Kern. Austin Purnell with a ton of grip. Steven Oberstadt gets into the wall and he loses some race car. He's going to have to get it back together. Forseal to the outside. He's going to be the new leader for now. And the 8-2 gets around the 1-2. The 3-2 wants to follow as well. The 65, Dustin Painter, leaves a gap between himself and the 6. Steven Oberstadt running in 6th. Jimmy Kerr, 7th. Kevin Feemster decides he's not done sliding around the racetrack. He's going to get a piece of the outside wall in turn number 4 in last week's Bristol winner. And if you didn't see last week's finish, it came to, I would say, as close to an explosive finish as you can literally get in iRacing. But between Feemster and Cordray, it was kind of a last lap melee that ended with Kevin Feemster winning the race at Bristol. It was his first ARCS win ever, so you got to give it up to him. Big congratulations. Austin Purnell, you got to give it up to him. I think he restarted in the middle of nowhere, and here he is back to the front in the 3-2 car. 26 laps to go this next time by. 3-2, new leader, 6-5. Almost giving no room to Ryan Purnell in the 1-2. Leaving a big gap there. Here comes the 41 of Patrick Oberstadt. He wants to the inside. And then Steven Oberstadt. Now just trying to get speed again. It looks like he's back out for more fun. He finds himself 4 laps off the pace. Austin Purnell, the new Smyrna winner, just ahead of Brendan Forseal. 4/10 the gap. And Forseal's not giving up. Sun starting to set at Kern County Raceway. Purnell, Forseal, Painter. With 23 to go. Caution is out with 23 laps to go. Who's gone around? And it is Patrick Oberstadt in the 41 car. He's caught a big piece of it. And a heavy slice out of the 41 Hunt Brothers machine. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, they just check up there. Cordray in the 14C gets a piece of the 41. And Cordray, I think he caught a piece of Steven Oberstadt earlier in this race as well. So he catches a piece of Steven and he catches a piece of Patrick. See if this is the incident here. This might be the incident. Have a look. There it is. Yeah, the 14C just gets into the 8 there. That's on lap 36. And 41 laps later, car 41 goes for a spin as the 14C gets into him. Another yellow is out. Austin Purnell leads this race, and Brendan Forseal now sits behind him. See if we can bother Brendan for a word or two. Brendan Forseal, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Carrying the flag for Canada, you are the only Canadian in tonight's race, but you're doing a very good job. You're sitting in second right now. You had a great chance to hold on to the lead there. You got around Purnell, and now Purnell sits up front. He's been really quick tonight, though. Do you got a chance at all?
I don't know if I have a chance. I'm still trying to figure some stuff out. I got a new set of pedals here a couple days ago. Still kind of a little bit learning them and whatnot. So, but well, we'll see. I might be able to get top 3 out of this.
I mean, a new set of pedals just means that you're going to get better in the future. So sooner or later, we're going to see you in victory lane. That's what I heard.
Yeah, no, they definitely is a lot of improvement compared to what they used to be. So a lot more consistency. So I just got to figure them out and we'll see how it goes.
What kind of pedals are they?
Thrustmasters, the load cell.
Okay, super cool. Fantastic. Well, good luck. Purnell's quick, but you know, we got 18 laps to go, and we expect to see a show, man. Give it your best.
I'll try and put on a show here.
We got a show last week, so when I say put on a show, let's have at least 7 cars finish this race. No, I'm messing around. Last week's white flag was very interesting to see. I think at the end of the show, I said, "What the hell was that?" When it all just settled down, smoke was in the air. I genuinely think about 7 cars crashed on that last lap, but it was fun. It was a good time. 18 laps this time by. We expect to see the lights go out on top of the pace car. And indeed they do. If you just tuned in, it's been a really fun night. I think you've missed out on some great racing, but be sure to check out that replay. You can catch it again on Twitch. You can catch it again on YouTube, Rick James TV, of course. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's been an awesome night of super late model racing, and you gotta love this. I want to say grassroots, right? But no, this super late models can get nationwide. But you know, you see a lot more of these at your home tracks, and it's just fun to kind of get a home track feel, especially on iRacing. So let's go back to work. 17 to go next time by. You love that sound. Purnell just runs into turn number 1, and he's not going to look back. Painter tries to go up the inside. Brendan Forseal said he'd put on a show. Let's see what he's got. 75 of JK3. Jimmy Kerr the third. He brings that black acid machine up into the top 5. Patrick Oberstadt in the 41 just got turned by the 14C of Anthony Cordray. But young Tony now sits at the back, just looking to finish in the top 10. Austin Purnell, gone. 0.6 of a second and counting. Winston-Salem's Dustin Painter into second, and now it's a battle of Los Angeles versus Saskatoon. The 8-2 of Brendan Forseal on the outside. Steven Oberstadt coming back onto the racetrack after losing a big piece of his race car. Let's see what happened to him. Not a good night for Steven Oberstadt. Does he go by himself? Well, of course he's going to go by himself, won't he? Oh, man. And not a great place to do it as well. Really kind of hit hard. Hopefully we see him finish this race. Austin Purnell. My God, he's out of there. He's gone. 1.2 seconds now, the gap, with a dozen laps remaining. So he's going to win this race. That's it. He decided that a long time ago. Tommy Withers is in that 6 car. He wants a piece of the 41. Let's go on board with Withers. Los Angeles, Ryan Pennell up into the top 4. Brendan Forseal just a quarter of a second away, and it's 9 at the line. Purnell decided this race is his. Further on back, these guys are still fighting hard. Jimmy Kerr, the 3rd, now sits 0.2 of a second behind Tommy Withers in the 6th position, in car number 6, in position number 6, not looking to give up that spot. Seven to go next time by. 2.25 seconds the gap from 1st to 2nd. Patrick Oberstadt in the 41 trying to hold on to 5th while Tommy Withers bothers him for the spot. And Ryan Pennell 0.3 of a second behind Brendan Forseal. That's the fight for the podium spot. Looks like Forseal trying to get around Pittman in that 0.8. Everybody gets around the Valvoline machine, and we keep it green and clean. Purnell 2.23 seconds now with 5 to go next time by. Oberstadt in that 41 just ahead of Tommy Withers. 0.4 the gap now. 75 of Jimmy Kerr sits 0.4 behind that 6. 4 to go. The Purnell show keeps on rolling. Anthony Cordray comes down into the pits. The gap slowly shrinking, but Austin Purnell probably just managing what he's got left. Dustin Painter in 2nd, Brendan Forseal in 3rd. Ryan Pennell just a couple of tenths ahead of Patrick Oberstadt. He's being patient, but will he put the bumper to the 1-2? A mile to go next time around. Ryan Pennell wants to hold on to that 4th spot. Oberstadt's getting awfully close to the back of the 1-2, but how long will he stay patient? There goes the 6 of Withers. We stay green so far. Green so far. Purnell crosses the line, and it's a race no matter what. Ryan Pennell sits ahead of Patrick Oberstadt. The 4th place battle going down to the last quarter mile. You see those brake rotors glowing red on that 4-1. He wants a piece of the 1-2. Gives him a shove into turn number 3. One more chance for Oberstadt out of that 4th corner. He won't get to Ryan Pennell in time. Pennell holds on for the 4th position, and it's this man, Austin Purnell, who holds on for the race win, his 2nd win this season. That's a burnout and a half, so the 32 is going to celebrate in style. We're going to gather the top 3, and we'll be back in just a moment. On the podium with our top 3, starting with Brennan for Seal. I don't know if this is your first start of this season, Brennan, but in any case, 3rd place tonight is pretty good going into next week's race. You and Painter had a great battle tonight. You and everybody had an awesome battle tonight. You and Purnell, it looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I haven't been on iRacing as much lately. I've been quite busy with house renos, and I got married a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I haven't been able to do as much racing as I'd like, but it's still fun to get out and race these guys again.
Next week at Myrtle Beach, I know Dustin Painter's going to be there. Hopefully you'll be there as well, Brennan. Painter, you had a pretty good run tonight. Silver medal's not bad.
Yeah, just probably too much damage at the end. I was just looked at the video of my left front. It wasn't horrible. I actually helped the car a little bit, but that last wreck was probably a little too much. But I wouldn't probably had anything for Austin anyway. So, but fun track. Never been there before. I really, really enjoyed the track. Can't wait to come back here and other cars. This car, just like I said, I was very happy with the track.
It was a pretty great track. It was a really scenic track. The cars looked fantastic too. And we'll see you next week at Myrtle Beach. Austin Purnell, Dustin Painter's going to have that points lead next week in South Carolina. When you climb up to 6th, you're only 7 points off the top 5 behind Anthony Cordray. 2 wins this season. And what do you know? You end up in victory lane after all. Great run.
Yeah, appreciate it. It's kind of just a part-time effort for this season. I know I missed the first couple of races, and we'll try to make most of the rest of them. We'll probably miss a few here and there, but yeah, the track was it was real slick to start the race, but it seemed like towards the end of the race, once the sun started to set and more rotors laid down, it actually gripped up pretty good.
No, it was a fantastic race, man. So congratulations on that win. Hopefully we see you next week at Myrtle Beach, but if not, we can't wait until the next race, man. Congratulations again.
All right, thank you, man.
Fans at home, that's going to do it for tonight. Pretty fun race overall, definitely. This Thursday, TNT is going to be back to regularly scheduled programming. Last week was no points. This week is all the points at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the modern configuration with the Gen 4 cars. So check that out right here, Rick James TV, 8:40 Eastern on Thursday.